Hi, I'm Jack Melham. I'm lead music designer, and back on Attila, I think I was associate audio engineer. My proudest achievement working on Total War Attila would be the fact that it was the first Total War I worked on, a franchise I'd played as a teenager, and I got to work on the music for it. We upgraded the dynamic music in Total War Attila on battles from previous titles. There's always been a level of dynamism in the music on battles. It was originally sort of like you'd have the tension music and then the action music, but the audio director from the time on Total War Attila wanted to heighten that a bit more, have it so those action tracks were a bit more responsive to what was going on in the battle and relay a little bit more of that feedback in the music. So we came up with the concept of dynamic states, which are essentially mixes or alternate versions of those main action tracks that try and respond to certain situations within the battle. So if you're losing, the music will strip out those lower layers, like all the big percussion and the big heavy strings and stuff, and leave you with something that feels a little bit more tense. Or we can have moments where, so like units are charging in, we'll have a state to respond to that. So we bring in all those big heavy percussion beats, boom, boom, and have those low strings, that kind of thing, to try and like emulate that action. So the introduction of more dynamic music in a project is there largely to try and have a greater emotional connection with the player. So music is one of the most important tools in your emotional toolkit to try and either inform or just resonate and respond to what the player is feeling at any certain time. So during battles, we want to try and heighten that sense of emotion when everything's kicking off, try and really elevate it, or if everything's going wrong, try and sort of get that sort of feeling of falling off a cliff when we strip out all of the big percussion and everything to try and emulate what the player's feeling, give them that sense of urgency or like devastation, rather than having just a 2-minute track like play all through, then go down to silence and play another track. We try and keep that going longer and have those ebbs and flows in the music, so it really feels like we're trying to feel the same thing that the player's feeling, but within the music.